in your expressions.
This is my friend, genius.
I need those
I'm gonna look for them.
videos.
I have some of them that are remarkable.
Yeah.
But let me go ahead. Go. I'm sorry.
No,
We
go
don't.
ahead.
I want to ask you a question. Just now we missed it because I turned the camera a little late. You said you said a certain sentence that spoke about this.
Reducing the world to you.
So let me ask you a question.
Yes.
This question usually puts things in a very proper perspective. Who introduced into this conversation, to this interaction, a verbal energy of pain?
Pain.
You said the phrase, this is going to be a painful conversation. Now, so my
Yeah.
question is, I'm not debating what you said, I'm just asking you a technical question here. Like two physicians. Who introduced first the verbal, we know what words are, energy of pain? Who is the source? Who was the source from between us two? It could be either you or I. Who introduced it? Who was the source of the verbal energy of pain? Who said the word?
Maybe I did.
Well, hold on. Let's get rid of that maybe. Who did it for sure? We want a certainty here.
You.
Okay, so see, now you're lying because you know it wasn't me. So now,
Remember, you said that guy. That guy
right?
you spoke about.
I never said the word pain. I said he's destructive, he's not reproducing, but I never pronounced the word pain.
All right.
Okay, so,
I give that.
right, so you said, and this is happening to me on a daily basis, because people say, oh, this one guy said, you're so aggressive. I said, Yuri, who brought verbally the energy of aggression? I don't even know what that means. I am not too good with words, you see. I don't know so many words. So aggression, I had to look up. Aggressivo. Agressia. Who? Oh, you're trying to be smart. You're trying to manipulate. I'm just analyzing our interaction. Someone introduces energy by speaking. This is how we interact, by words. I mean, so then we have to agree that pain came from you.
Yes.
And you put it on me. Now, in psychology, this is very simple. You automatically try to wiggle it out, saying, whoa, whoa, it came from you. Now, you denied it. That's a denial, which is the first proof. And you did a second little trick. It's called projection. Not only you denied, you projected it on me. Now, true, I do have a lot of pain. I love it. That means I'm alive. But this particular time, I was not the source of it. So why are you in pain?
My thing is, whenever you reduce the world to you,
Is that the question? Why are you in pain? Let's stay on the subject. What
am I in
hurts?
pain? Why am I in pain?
Yeah, because you exposed your own pain by saying that.
Because pain is the number one
Smart guy.
noble truth.
Pain never lies. Pain never lies. That motherfucker is true. He knows where it hurts, and we better react to it. And it's a beautiful thing. There's actually a disease where people don't feel diabetes. They stop feeling pain in their legs, and the legs go.
Oh, by the way, I have a question for you. My toes are starting to get numb. Is that some kind of diabetes?
I would I mean, do you get your blood work yearly or twice?
I did, but it's just I'm borderline.
No, that's not diabetes then. That's something else. Toes, only toes.
Yeah, the toes.
Only toes.
Yeah.
And it bothers you?
The extremity. I run a lot.
If you run a lot, it's like I was telling my brother, hey, when I do one arm pull up, I get some weird, it hurt me because well, one arm pull up is a bit of an inhuman action. So he says, maybe just don't do one arm pull up for a while. Don't go upside down and hang like an ape. You're a human. No, but if you excessively run, it can cause a lot of plantar fasciitis. It can cause a lot of these you run a lot, like a lot. I would recommend a human being to stop running, and I tell you why. I love running. I stopped it because I realized how destructive that is for the body. Long run. If you run routinely for years, Now there are exceptions. Some people can withstand it. I know actually one person who's ran all his life and somehow he avoided major bony issues like the hip replacement, the knee replacement that most people see. We're not runners. We don't even walk well yet. We have been only walking for what, a couple of million, and before that we've been crawling and on all fours. So our spines are not so great. By 70, people get herniated even earlier. Herniated discs, all this lumbar nonsense. So running, which is a whole different ball game. Do you actually know the difference between running and walking? What's the technical difference?
Hello?
I tell you. That's how they disqualify in Olympics. There's this entity of a walk, like they do this walk thing when people walk fast. It's an Olympic sport, just fast walk. I don't know what it's called, but you know what I'm talking about. They walk funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, like these little ducks. The difference is when you walk, you take your weight from one foot to the other, so you always have the contact with the ground.
Yeah.
See, in the running, there's that phase where you actually lose contact. So it's a series of, yes, you jump. It's literally a series of jumps. And then that's a jump, so you hit the ankle's sturdy, but the knees start to go. Then the hips, if you do it for many years, if a person does it, it's a very destructive activity over a long time. So it's great. But do you run every day?
Every other day.
See, exactly. So when I ran, I'm not a good runner, but I ran for maybe 3, 4, 5 years. When I was in my 30s, I needed some type of endorphin. So running was good, but I couldn't do it every day. So, because it wore me out. Sometimes a lot, like you used to get breakout of herpes when I stressed myself because I wanted to go fast and time myself. And then I realized, then I twisted my ankle. I said, you know what, let me swim better. You're a swimmer. Why don't you, what's the reason that you just can't take up swimming instead of running? Because it's so much better for you. And and you can swim 3 times a day. I swam for like 15 years, daily, religiously, fast for 30 minutes in a pool. And I have like times from like thousands of my swims, records galore. And I never hurt. So I recommend to people, now I have this. So this is a beautiful thing because it's so low impact. And it's a nature, especially if I do it with someone else. Oh. But I'm curious though, and again, I don't mean to like be the person, oh, I got you, you said something. You're my friend and you're so humble and you're so wise. We have these mental pitfalls that we all have. Me too. I start feeling mine. I'm like, damn, what seems to hurt? Because you mentioned pain and it's coming from you. So what's hurting you? You seem to have figured this whole thing out. We can turn off the camera, by the way, because
We have pain because
not you. I'm talking about
I have
you.
pain because I do not know who I am.
You don't know who you are.
No. And then I have invented a me that I have to feed all the time. They're asking me for all kind of things.
So you have to feed. You said feed.
Feed that ego that I created.
Right, you created the ego. Me too. And mine is very, very needy.
Yeah.
Ooh, my ego needs a
You
lot.
never satisfy the ego.
My ego feels that it's the only ego in the world. Unique, genius ego, and I need what I need. And no one gets me. Of course, I'm the genius. And I want to objectively approach my genius. I ask people, do you think I'm like, there's an objective way to know? Because some people are objectively genius. Am I crazy or am I a real genius? I'm puzzled by that. And by the way, you're also a genius. That's why, I'm sorry?
I'm not a genius. The genius is you. You master both the physical aspect in terms of the nerves, the physiology of things, the organic ways, the muscles and everything. And you also master the psychological aspect of it.
But master is a big word. I'm learning it, but to master it, I wouldn't be. See, right now, if I master what you mentioned, and I wish to master it, and I hope to master it, I'll be known. I'll be on all the channels, teaching people because 99.9999999 have no clue what we're talking about. So I'll teach them how at least to stop smoking. That alone can get me super famous. If I somehow let people know, share with them how I quit alcohol, for example, that's a big one. We don't have to go complicated and get all spiritual, meditative, you know, yogi, all this. For Western culture, that's complicated. It's not even our thing. We better go for like a, like this. We have a Leo Tolstoy, right? He was a very down-to-earth guy. He was a genius. Now, that's a certified genius, and he knew it. But he always stayed close to earth. He loved to cut grass, you know, with that sickle back then. And that was he loved to do. And that's a beautiful thing. It's like me paddling. So that was his thing. And he owned an estate. He was a Count Tolstoy. He had many people like the peasants that he owned, well, semi-owned. And they used to tell him this, Your Highness, or whatever they call him, the sickle is served. In other words, you can go and cut grass. Because that's what he loved to do. So they used to serve him an instrument. But I haven't mastered it. My challenge is, how do I deliver it? How do I share that with people so they, I wish for them at least not to run and not to block themselves and not to curse my own mother and father curse the shit out of me. My brother, my kids have blocked themselves for 5 years. What did I master? Now most people have mastered these things, and I can't even master this.
Because you are not most people, my friend.
Well, then it's great to be talking about all the cosmic energies and shit, but if I can't get through to my kids, what kind of a master am I?
It's a process, I guess.
And that's what I wish a person like you could give me a hand with, because I don't know how to do it. Following a conventional way, which is the only way I have available to me, is a conventional way, calling, to, trying, and it causes tremendous amount of pain. Ooh, tremendous. When I have
There we go again.
Well, and that's my pain, and I better have it, because it can't not hurt. It's impossible for it not to cause pain, because it's my children, it's my future, it's all I got in a sense of evolutionary path. Me, as I am right now, if I don't ever have children, I'm considered an evolutionary waste, according to one literary composition. I am an evolutionary waste that needs to be sped up to get rid of by doing some crazy thing like paddling 10 miles out, or engaging in some risky activity or other habits that hasten our demise, such as smoking, drinking, which hopefully I will never do again. But I'm vulnerable to anger, laziness. All that is what they call an unconscious death wish. Mortido. Have you heard of that? I think we mentioned it. It's like, for example, we right now, if we're not reproducing, we are hastening our death.
Demise.
Yeah, because we are not fulfilling our biological priority. It's a priority. We are given this ability, and it's an expensive ability, because it's consuming all of our resources that we don't even understand. It's subconsciously possessing you, making you run, making you stay in shape, because subconsciously you want to be the fittest male to impregnate the best female available. That's a subconscious mechanism that we all share, and we can do a lot of sublimation by creating works of art, creating philosophical works and books, and winning Olympics. All that is just
Expression of that.
it's just an expression of that. Some people fly to the Mars, they forget it's too far. If we just concentrate on what we are here for, we will never be unhappy, because that's what we're here for. And males specifically have that ability given to them. This was not a mistake. like some people say appendix is unnecessary. Not at all, it's very necessary. Foreskin, let's circumcise that. No, everything belongs where it belongs. But this one, that's a big one. Reproductive ability, we were given throughout our lifespan to use. As they say, use it or lose it. So we're losing it. People get ED, erectile dysfunction. People get all sorts of craziness. Because we forget why we're here. How do you share that with people? Because women, when they hear that, oh, they flip. Because that means we can't be with them in a conventional way. After 40, 45, out we go. Or bring another honey. Additional. The Muslims. See, biology and society don't see eye to eye. For many, many years. This, to me, if you ask me, is the biggest discrepancy, conflict between us and nature, that we forget the major reason why we're here, and we don't follow our biological drives, which are the most essential ones of all. This is it, and this is the absolute truth. For millions, ask your sperms, they'll confirm it. And it doesn't matter if they're Christian sperms, or Muslim sperms, or Buddha sperms. They're all spermatozoa, and they all want to impregnate the egg. That's it. For billions of years. Yeah, back when there were primitive organisms, our big-time ancestors. Anyway, we're gonna be right back. This is a good conversation. I want to ask some other questions, but this is the thing.